opening and spiritual connection. Welcome to this space of reflection and wisdom. Today we will talk about something that, for many, seems like a mere detail, but which in Buddhism is seen as a profound sign from the universe: your date of birth. The moment you arrived in this world was no coincidence. Just like the lotus flower that opens exactly when it meets the sun, your soul chose to be born on a specific day, at a specific time, bringing with it seeds of karma that shape your journey in this life. In Buddhist teachings, we understand that the date of birth acts as an energetic gateway. It reveals the lessons we need to learn, the gifts we carry, and even the challenges that reappear in our lives, like echoes from past lives. Today, I want to invite you to look at your date of birth with new eyes, not as a simple number on the calendar, but as a spiritual message, a key that can help you better understand who you are and the path your soul has chosen to follow. Breathe deep and open your mind and heart to this journey of self-knowledge. Introduction to the topic. In Buddhism, we learn that each being is born at a unique and special moment, carrying within them karmic seeds that blossom throughout life. These seeds are linked to our past choices, but also to the learning our soul has chosen to embrace in this lifetime. The date of birth, therefore, is not just a calendar convention. It is like an energetic map, a spiritual compass that points out which paths we should follow, what gifts came with you, and what challenges need to be overcome. When we look closely at this day, we can perceive hidden patterns that may have already repeated themselves in your history. Perhaps you felt that certain events recur, or that certain lessons appear at different stages of life. This is no coincidence. It is karma manifesting itself, always with the purpose of teaching us. Each number carries a vibration, a subtle energy, and when we combine this energy with Buddhist teachings, we discover that there is wisdom even in the simple day we arrive into the world. In this video, we will explore together what each cycle of dates reveals about your karma. More than curiosity, is an invitation to see your life with more clarity, acceptance, and serenity. Let the words that come to you be like a mirror to your soul, helping you recognize the beauty and depth of your own journey. When we look at our date of birth, we're not just observing a number on a calendar. We're looking at a reflection of our soul, at the energetic map that reveals subtle patterns of learning, talents, and challenges we chose before birth. In Buddhism, we understand that each birth is unique and carries specific lessons. For example, someone born at the beginning of the month may carry the karma of initiative and pioneering, and will have opportunities to develop courage and self-confidence. Meanwhile, someone born in the middle of the month may be called to learn about relationships, compassion, and giving to others. And someone born at the end of the month carries the energy of service, responsibility, and legacy, bringing with it the mission to illuminate the path of others. We can imagine it like a garden. Each flower has its time to bloom. Each petal follows its rhythm, but all benefit from the same sunlight and the same water that sustains life. Thus, our date of birth indicates not only who we are, but also the path our soul has chosen to follow, remembering that each experience is an opportunity for growth and evolution. By understanding this energy, we begin to perceive the signs the universe sends us, recognizing that every challenge, every joy, and every encounter in our lives has a purpose. It's as if each day we breathe is a leaf on this map, teaching us to live with more attention, serenity, and compassion. Today we will explore these cycles together. discovering what each date reveals about your karma and learning to transform each lesson into wisdom and inner peace. Cycle 1, days 1 to 9. If your birth date is between the 1st and 9th of the month, your soul carries with it the energy of beginnings. These dates symbolize awakening, the first step, the courage to break new ground. These people often feel, from an early age, a calling to independence, to learn to trust their own light. They have within them the power of initiative, like someone holding a torch and illuminating the darkness so that others can follow. But along with this energy of leadership, karma also brings a very important lesson: ego balance. Many born on these days face situations that force them to exercise humility, patience, and the understanding that no one walks alone. The universe asks you for courage, but also gentleness. Life gives you opportunities to shine, but also presents tests that remind you that true greatness lies not in standing out, but in serving with compassion. If you were born between the 1st and 9th, know that your spiritual mission is to learn to be a light without losing yourself in vanity, to be a guide without forgetting that you are also a learner. Your karma is one of renewal, opening doors for yourself and others, always learning to walk with humility and love. Cycle 2, days 10 to 19. If you were born between the 10th and 19th, your karma is deeply connected to relationships. These dates carry the energy of encounter, exchange, and coexistence. These are lives that were not born to walk alone, but to learn the value of sharing and compassion. People born on these days often feel, at different points in their lives, that family, emotional, or friendship ties are their greatest sources of joy, and at the same time their greatest challenges. This happens because your spiritual mission is to learn from others, to respect, forgive, understand, and love unconditionally. Karma often manifests itself in situations that call for reconciliation, care, and patience. It's not uncommon for them to face tests of trust, disagreements, or losses that teach them to look beyond their own desires. The universe shows them, time and again, that we are not here just to receive, but to learn to give love, to give support, to give understanding. If you were born between the 10th and 19th, know that your soul carries the karma of compassion. You came into the world to open yourself to others, to transform difficulties into bridges of affection, and to discover that true happiness is born of generosity. Your spiritual path is that of the heart, to learn that each relationship is a mirror and an opportunity for growth, a call to love in an increasingly pure and detached way. Cycle 3, days 20 to 29. If you were born between the 20th and 29th, your soul carries the call to service. These are dates that vibrate with the energy of collectivity, shared wisdom, and responsibility for the well-being of others. These people tend to feel, from an early age, the need to help, guide, and support. They are often the ones others turn to for advice or simply a listening ear. Their karma is linked to altruism, learning to serve without expecting reward, to give without counting, to act with silent compassion. But along with this gift, there is also a great lesson. The universe places tests of patience and humility in your path. You may, at times, feel that you give more than you receive, or that your actions are not appreciated. These situations do not arise to bring you pain, but to teach you to find joy in the act of service without depending on external recognition. If you were born between the 20th and 29th, remember, your soul carries the karma of surrender. You came to be part of something greater, to place your light at the service of the community, to learn that true strength lies in uniting rather than dividing. Your spiritual path is one of cooperation, realizing that every act of kindness, no matter how small, creates ripples that spread throughout the world, touching lives and transforming destinies. Cycle 4, days 30 and 31. If you were born on the 30th or 31st, your soul carries with it a rare and special mission. These dates are linked to completion, the synthesis of wisdom, and the building of a lasting legacy. People born on these days often face greater responsibilities, challenges that require maturity and discernment. From an early age, they may feel the weight of important decisions or the need to guide and mentor others. This happens because their karma is not just personal. It reflects the energy to transform and teach, to leave positive marks on the world. But as with every spiritual mission, there are also challenges. The universe asks you to find balance so that you don't allow yourself to be consumed by the weight of what you must carry. True fulfillment comes from recognizing that serving as an example and sharing wisdom is an act of love, not obligation. If you were born on the 30th or 31st, know that your karma is one of legacy and guidance. You came to complete cycles, share learnings, and inspire others with your experience. Your spiritual path is one of enlightened maturity, learning to transform responsibilities into lessons, challenges into opportunities for growth, and experiences into inspiration for future generations. Spiritual reflection. Dear listener, notice how each birth date carries a unique and subtle energy, which often manifests in subtle yet powerful ways. Sometimes they are patterns that repeat themselves, challenges that resurface, feelings that seem old, or situations that continually test us. In Buddhism, we call this karma, not as a punishment, but as a learning opportunity. Karma is not something that binds us, but rather a mirror that reveals to us what we need to understand, transform, and transcend. When we look closely at our birth date, we can see these karmic marks clearly. We can notice, for example, that certain lessons repeat themselves. Learning to trust, to forgive, to serve, to love unconditionally. These challenges do not appear to limit us, but to liberate us, bringing awareness and serenity. By understanding your karma through your birth date, you open a door to inner transformation. It's as if each challenge were a submerged lotus flower, waiting for its moment, right to blossom in the light of understanding. Accepting this wisdom allows life to flow more harmoniously, the heart to open, and the mind to find peace. Realize that every experience in your life, whether a challenge, an encounter, or a joy, is like a seed planted in your soul. Some seeds blossom quickly, bringing learning and fulfillment. Others remain dormant for a while, waiting for the right moment to blossom. In Buddhism, we learn that karma is not punishment, but a guide. It is like a flowing river, sometimes calm, sometimes turbulent, but always leading us toward awareness and evolution. The patterns that repeat themselves in your life, the difficulties that seem persistent are merely waves in this river, reminding us that you have the opportunity to transform each experience into wisdom. To illustrate, imagine an obstacle that repeatedly arises in your relationships is like a stumbling block. It may seem like a roadblock, but each step over it strengthens your patience and compassion. A persistent financial or professional challenge is like the wind that bends a tree. It teaches flexibility, resilience, and trust in the process of life. Moments of joy and harmony are like lotus flowers reflecting sunlight on water. They show us the beauty of each stage of the journey. By contemplating your date of birth and recognizing the karma present in your life, you realize that nothing happens by chance. Each experience is an opportunity to look within, to awaken awareness, and to transform difficulties into growth. Take a deep breath and allow yourself to feel the depth of this reflection. Your spiritual path is not linear, but each step, each challenge, each learning experience is part of the blossoming of your own inner lotus, and by understanding this, you find serenity, acceptance, and gratitude for what you have already experienced and for what is yet to come. Inspiring Buddhist metaphor. Buddhist masters say that each birth is like a lotus flower, opening in the lake of existence. Some flowers are born in calm waters, receiving light and tranquility. Other flowers open in murky waters, facing currents and storms. But regardless of the conditions, each lotus reveals its beauty at the right time, bringing harmony, peace, and enlightenment. So it is with your date of birth. It is the water that sustains your flower, the light that allows it to bloom. Every challenge you encounter, every lesson life presents, are like the sun and rain that help the flower grow. Your soul, like the lotus, blooms at the right time, showing the world the essence you brought to this life. Allow yourself to contemplate your own existence like this flower. Observe your journey with gratitude, embracing the lessons learned and celebrating each moment of awakening. Concrete examples and Buddhist metaphors. To better understand how your date of birth reflects karma, we can turn to concrete examples that show these energies in action. Imagine someone born in the first days of the month, between the 1st and 9th. This person often feels a natural urge to initiate projects, lead, and seek independence. However, they may find that focusing solely on themselves creates conflict or feels isolated. Karma here teaches us to balance initiative with humility. A growing lotus flower needs firm roots, but also enough water to fully blossom. Those born between the 10th and 19th, for example, may notice repeating patterns in relationships, arguments that recur, or losses that seem familiar. The lesson is simple. Just as a lake needs calm to reflect the moon, the heart needs patience and compassion to reflect the light of true love. For those born between the 20th and 29th, example is shown in service and dedication to others. Perhaps you feel like you give more than you receive, or that your good deeds go unnoticed. In Buddhism, we learn that true happiness lies not in reward, but in giving. It's like lighting a candle to illuminate one's path. The flame shines, even if no one sees it directly. And for the 30th and 31st, think of the master who walks serenely along an illuminated path. He faces responsibilities, makes important decisions, and yet remains calm. His karma is that of legacy, transforming experience into wisdom, challenges into teachings, life into inspiration for others. Each step he takes is like a polished stone on the path to the temple, leaving lasting marks that will guide future generations. These examples show that, although each karma manifests in different ways, there is a common thread: learning from life, transforming challenges into growth, and recognizing the beauty of one's own journey. Every birth date, every challenge, every lesson is like a flower that blooms in its own time, And as we contemplate these flowers, we understand that we are not just living. We are evolving, enlightening, and learning to love ever more deeply. Final reflection. Now, dear listener, I invite you to pause and look at the day you were born, not as a number on a calendar, but as a spiritual message, a compass that indicates the paths of your soul. Reflect. What patterns repeat themselves in your life? What lessons arise more than once? Every challenge, every joy, every encounter you have had carries with it your karma, reminding you that you are exactly where you need to be, learning exactly what your soul chose for this moment. Ask yourself, have I honored the purpose my birth date reveals? Have I transformed my karma into compassion, wisdom, and serenity? Remember, life is not just to be lived, but to be understood. Every experience is an opportunity for evolution. Every obstacle is a flower waiting to bloom in the pool of your existence. If you feel gratitude for this teaching, allow it to awaken new insights. Take a deep breath, contemplate your journey, and recognize that, regardless of the difficulties, you possess within you all the light necessary to fully blossom. If this teaching touched your heart and brought clarity to your journey, I invite you to continue walking with me in this space of reflection and wisdom. Here on the channel, there are other videos that delve deeper into how karma manifests in our daily lives, teaching us how to transform challenges into learning and cultivate serenity, compassion, and balance. Subscribe and follow this journey of self-discovery, sharing these teachings with those you love. Remember, each small practice, each reflection is like a light on your path, guiding you to inner harmony. May your date of birth continue to be a reminder that you are in exactly the right place, learning exactly what your soul came to experience. And may each day be an opportunity to blossom, just like the lotus that opens at the right time, revealing all its beauty.